Okay.
Greetings and welcome. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
This is JCBIY Best Talk Show, and I'm your producer slash director. Called a star from another galaxy, a soldier of love.
And I am Valencia M. I am a singer, a writer, a performer. I am a shining star. I'm also an expanded function dental assistant and a health and wellness coach. And I am the assistant director and host of the
Woo.
JCBIY events.
Yeah,
Show.
Go
Howard.
ahead, Queen.
Howard.
Yes, and I'm my co-pilot.
There we go. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Georgina. I am a career coach, professional, motivational speaker, and all of that.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. And we want to welcome our guest,
Mm-hmm.
our special guest, Mary Jackson.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Mary has way too many titles for us.
Oh my God, it's a lot.
I know you make me feel like y'all with your titles. Like, I fit in. I feel like I fit right in today.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So we want you to talk about all the things that you have going on. But Mary is founder of Thick Girls is Fly, right? Founder of Thick Girls is Fly. She is right now the national photo contest winner for Miss Fashion Global Pageant.
Yes.
Listen. Not only is she the winner, but let's be clear. At last I counted, you won by over 1,000 votes, right?
I won over 1,700 votes.
Yes.
So we listen. So we like, you know how we like to round up. So we're gonna round up. She won by almost 2,000 votes.
Yes.
And is competing for the Miss Fashion Global pageant, right? National, right? You're gonna be competing nationally. So we are super excited to have you here with us today. We want to be able to hear from you and your story and your journey, and really just how you plan on claiming that crown, sis. That's what we want to be able to know. You're gonna claim that crown.
Oh, y'all literally gave me chills right now. You know, the last time I was in you guys' presence face to face when we was at the last event that you guys hosted.
Social networking event.
Yes, and then the young guy gave me money, and everybody started giving me money. And y'all, I'm such a crybaby. Like, that was a big deal to me. And I'm like, every single dollar, literally, you could tell, went to them votes. Like, I ended with $6,100 when we closed out last week.
Wow.
That was $1,100 more than the person last year. They told me. They was like, your city love you. They was like, y'all did that. Like, the last 2 weeks, like, it was like a whole snap out. Like, once I became number one, it kept going and going. Like, the last 10 minutes, somebody dropped another $100, and that's when we was at 61. I was just like, I was live during the whole situation, and my mom was sitting here crying. I was just like, this is crazy. But
oh my God.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we start and tell everybody that voting matters, right?
Yeah.
Your vote matters.
Yeah.
So
that goes to show voting.
Thank you.
Voting matters. That too. When I posted, for every little voice you think you have, your 4 quarters matter to 6,100.
All right.
Please believe your voice matters. Please get out and vote November the 3rd. Like, don't think that because you don't vote, like, it doesn't matter. Please, please, please vote. Like, it's so important. Like, I'm not even going to say it, but I'm going to vote on November the 3rd.
That's
like,
it. That's right. Whoever you
bottom
vote
line.
for, vote.
Right.
Just vote.
Absolutely.
You know, just vote.
Right.
So tell me, like, what does it mean to you to have won? Not only, you know, have won, but by the amount that you won. So, like, what does it mean to you?
A whole lot, because I found myself complaining that the support wasn't there. And I definitely understand if Thick Girls is Fly isn't supported because it doesn't adhere to everyone's characteristic, or they're not, whatever that is. But this was real personal, and I felt like it was $1, literally $1. So then when I voiced, how much it meant to me, and people showed that they were in support of that. And then the biggest thing, like, yeah, I'm winning, I won, but we giving back to the kids. Like, that was the main part to me. Like, if you go on Miss Fashion Global and find out if you have a college age child, you can do what needs to be done to fit that criteria to get that money for your child. Like, that was the big part for me. So yes, having my trip paid for is even good, but it was a big deal that we gave back, because that's what I like to do as an individual. So, and then winning by so much, it was just like, my city is petty. Like, y'all didn't have to keep doing that after a while. It was like, I literally got calls that morning, like, I got some cash apps waiting. I had like 9 people, like, I got 3 stacks right now. If she want to play this game, I'm like, it became a 2-person competition. I'm like, y'all know it's 569 of us, right? At the end, it was just like, no, we just see Sapphire because she number 2. So, and I'm just like, it became like Chester about to win this. Like, that's how everybody started looking at it. And I was glad to be the face of that. So, I mean, it's exciting.
You made everybody look at it that way. And so I'm glad you said it, because at that last social networking event, I listened to you talk, and you believed in your ability to be able to win, but you didn't feel like you had the support that you needed to.
Yeah.
And it was important for us in that room to show you that you had support.
And y'all
what
really
you did though, Mary, was you changed your demeanor. You stopped focusing on where you weren't getting support, and you focused on the support you had. And what that did was it kept it growing and growing and growing. And I think that's the lesson in it for all of us, because I saw a post that you had made, and it talked about, just the no's and the rejection that comes, and all of the fear that sets in, right? Like all these things that could have stopped you from pursuing this. So how did you mentally get yourself ready to not let no and fear stop you from taking that risk and jumping out and claiming this?
Yeah, I can honestly say it came to the point that it's like, I want it that bad at this point, because it's like, I just like the whole, like, I like everybody that's the underdog. And I feel like in this competition, I'm like, all right, you're already over 40. Everybody's already counting you out. You have to want it more than they want you not to have it, if that makes sense. So it was like you said, I focused on those who did support, and those that did supported like $600. Like that support was crazy. So it was like, I will no longer complain about the support I don't get, and just be grateful for the support I do have. And that support is what made me, because guess what? If you believe you can do anything by yourself, that's not true. Like, there's nothing nowhere that we do alone. Like, your village is important. And my village definitely showed up and showed all the way out. And I was like, I was so proud. And I still am proud. And now it's all on me. So I feel like I'm under the gun now, because now I have to go down there and show up and whatever. But it is what it is.
You will. The first step is to show up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I said a lot of these things that I'm doing, I didn't see myself doing, but that's what I did. I showed up. I was invited to do certain things, and I showed up. Showing up, showed out, and it just made other doors open. And now at this point, like I said, after 40, I'm here for it. So y'all, if y'all knew half of what I went through, like, we bought a house. We live in Delaware now, but our landlord did us so dirty. We lost everything. You would have thought we had a fire. Like, he did us so dirty. And I was going through things that I had to, like, still keep smiling and still stay in this race, because I can't let this situation defeat me and my family. But I still had to deal with that on the back end. And it's still not easy, because I still have to go forward with that. But I said, people just don't know what people go through. Just because you smile and you show up don't mean that you was ready to.
But you know what? Oh, I'm so glad that you're sharing, because sometimes when people see the win, they don't know the struggle that went into the win. They don't know all the no's and the obstacles and everything. God. And so the fact that you won despite all of that. No, I'm sorry. The fact that you didn't give up despite all of that. Because here's the thing. For me, I like win, and I'm glad you won. But even if you had not, the fact that you didn't give up and that you stayed in the fight, you at least had a chance, right? You have to be in the fight to win it. So absolutely. You were in it, and that's huge, and that's what people need to hear. That you're gonna hit obstacles, you're gonna hit no's, you're gonna get slapped down, you're gonna get the wind knocked out of you, but you have to keep going. You got to keep going.
It's one of those things where you can say, like, I'm going through, but I'm getting through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it ain't easy. I swear, like, this whole ordeal has been like, I can't even enjoy this move because of what he did, but I can't let down him take that from me. And once that situation is over, and you know, God don't like ugly. So once that's over, he gonna realize that all he had to do was wait and not do what he did. But it's all good. Like just the hurt in my son face sometimes. But he was also proud of this. So that's what made me keep going too. Because my 12-year-old used to be like, Mom, I got $5 and he'll come and he'll have all this change and I'm just looking. He like, cause my vote is gonna matter. Like this is, and I said, yes, it is. So, and you know, so my kids was the first ones here on Friday morning after we found out. So the fact that they were so excited for their mom, it was like if I'd have gave up, you know what I mean? It was more that they was watching, and it would have been like my mom a whole quitter. Like so, that wasn't even an option to give up. So
you just showed what perseverance is. You know, you didn't let it stop you from
and they seen it. They see the obstacles. They're here with me going through those trenches, and I have all boys, so they see it, and they have to realize, like I told them, because they always say I make everything a life lesson. You have to realize that that's the mom in me. Like, but you have to realize you already have your color against you. You already have that was raised by a single mom in the beginning against you. So some things, or just your absent dad for my older kids, it's certain things that they're already going to try to categorize you, but you can't allow that to be the case. Because when my kids be like, I didn't graduate from high school, I got my GED. I also am certified for medical billing and coding, administrative assistant, and I'm also a criminal graduate. I'm a criminal undergrad student currently. So I always tell them everything I do is to show y'all. Just because this don't mean that it has to be at the end of the day. I said people look at me from growing up on 3rd Street and in the Hollow Gardens. I'm from Chester, period. So they count you out of certain things. And I said you just gotta prove them wrong. That don't have to be it.
Not everyone's journey is going to be the same. We all don't have the white picket fence. We don't all have the 2-parent home. Absolutely. And all that good stuff. I mean, if that's your story, if that's your journey, then that's great. But as long as you end up where you want to be and you don't let that stop you from doing the things that you want and having the aspirations, the dreams to get there, you can do it.
Absolutely.
You can do it. You just, like you said, you can't stop. You can't let
you can't
stop you from doing.
You can't let that, like, when I first wanted to model, I put my video out to Torrance, the plus size store that they have in King of Prussia. And so I did a video in 2017 and they never responded. So I was just like, I'm giving up. That same year when I went to the Chester High graduation, I talked to Big Bar Water Ice, who's Tiffany Flamer's husband, and he was, she was doing Miss Ashley's story during the time. He was like, don't give up. Don't give up. And I was just like, it's whatever. The model mentality to me is always so bougie, and that definitely ain't me. So I was just like, at this point, it's whatever. So when I was asked to do that one photo shoot in 2018, it was after I turned 40, after losing my grandma. And I'm just like, from there, everything just starts literally spiraling since 2018. It's like other doors open, people seeing your pictures. And now it's like, who is she? And everybody, and then plus size is now the thing. So I guess, or whatever.
Let me ask you, because you're going to be going to Florida, right, to compete for this crown in November. Yes. And so I kind of looked up a little bit about the Miss Fashion Global Pageant. And so I like their whole empowering beauty from within. I mean, that right there is everything that you just talked about, right? Yeah. Like, and so you are a beautiful woman. Yes, we are going to acknowledge that. Your pictures are super fly. Like, we're going to acknowledge all that. But you're empowering, and your beauty is coming from within, and it's coming out and it's showing. And I think that's just huge. The scholarships that are available and this money that you raise that go towards these scholarships. Listen, I have a niece who is a freshman in college. I was all in that scholarship. I'm like, she needs to start applying. Yes. And so all of those things. So when you get to Florida, like, what's the next step? What do you need to do to compete for this crown?
So all right, so we already get 2 points for the top 10 people got 2 points towards the preliminary. Okay. So now that the first round was all of us with the pictures, but now when we get there, it's directly in our category. So now when we do the runway and everything, I'll just be in that lane with the 40 and over. So now I have to show up and show out in that category. So
they have five different categories. Do you know what the five are?
So it's the 40 and over, it's the 13 to 18, it's the fit and wellness, it's the thick and curvy, and I don't know what the other one is. Because I thought they wanted me for the thick and curvy, and they was like, no, like your maturity, like give us like you should go in your 40 and older. And I was like, that's fine too. So and then that's what I focused on. But yeah, so it is. This is the first year they actually did the 40 and older, actually, too. So when I researched it, it was like, yeah, it's about empowerment, like you said. And I feel like with also TGIF, if you follow that page, it's always I motivate on Mondays and Tell the Truth Tuesday and just different things that TGIF is always like using fashion to inspire. Like, just love yourself. Like, we already heard that we were maybe obese or whatever the case was, or not good enough, or whatever you already heard being a plus size person all your life. So now that that's over and you already healed from that hurt, now it's time to either do something about it if you don't like it, or it's time to accept who you are and embrace it and move out on that. So,
hey, Mary, tell our viewers what TGIF is, because everybody's like, thank God it's Friday. They're like, what? Thank God it's Friday.
That's always the case. So I don't know if you can see my shirt. So Thick Girls is Fly. I can't see that. So Thick Girls is Fly is just that. It is I always was in love with graphic tees. So I started off as a t-shirt brand and then into everything else. But Thick Girls is Fly. The I is actually my logo, which is my thick girl that's fly. Mm-hmm. So I had a big argument with a grammar professor a couple years ago, and it ended with him buying a t-shirt because after I explained it to him, it made a lot of sense to him. And I was like, we are in the era where no one's going to use proper English. I don't let my kids text me improperly though, but you want to adhere not just to, because I'm at the age where I can go older or younger. So I'm like, I want to also pull in mainly my younger kids, because if they're dealing with weight and stuff like that, that makes a lot of kids, they've been hurting themselves or doing things to be thinner because that's what society make it seem like is beautiful. And I didn't want that. Even though I don't have a daughter, I still didn't want, like my youngest brand ambassador that just turned 10. She loves TGIF. She thinks everything is dope about it. So that's what I want to see. Like, I need you to love being yourself. If you choose to want to lose weight and work out and everything, that's fine. But yeah, so Thick Girls is Fly is just really all about embracing who you are as a person. And then we have our fans that, are fans that love us. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. I love it. Yeah. No, and you know what? It's funny. First of all, I mean, we get it, right? Grammar set aside. The I is important, right? Because the I is about yourself and how you see yourself, and that
absolutely.
And so I'm glad that you stayed true to what it was your mission and what your vision was for that. I think that's huge for you as well. So
thank you. Yeah, the backlash is still bad. Like, I see a lot of my big customers, unfortunately, like not unfortunately, but I seen Sarah got into it with somebody like, why is it Thick Girls is Fly instead of Thick Girls are Fly? And I seen the back and forth in the comments, and Sarah was just like, excuse you, like dismissed, like, and Sarah just defended the whole situation because she loves Thick Girls is Fly. So she loves the concept. So again, it's not for everybody, and I knew that would be the case, and I'm okay with that. And we're still going to be okay.
But it's also a conversation starter, and that's what it's about, right? It's about having some of these tough conversations. And I love that you are targeting younger women, because if we don't learn this at a young age, we grow up to be women that are insecure and women that are broken and women that, accept less than they deserve or hurt other people. And so it's just important to get that message across. And so I'm excited for you to be competing in this 40 and over category. I think that's another age group. I feel like, listen, when you do your announcements about who you are, I feel like you are a champion for women as a whole in terms of regardless of your size, your age, or whatever, you need to be able to go after what you want. And that's huge. So
that's what I wrote in my bio for the pictures. It was like, just because, and John used to like, just because you're older and more seasoned doesn't define your lack of beauty or being able to live and be vibrant. Like, yeah, these younger girls are out here, but they're doing different things to get attention. Do you know how many times as an older woman we can walk in rooms and own them same rooms that these half naked young girls are owning because that's what they think they have to do to get that attention? When a man is actually like, you literally walked in this room and owned it without even opening your mouth. All you did was walk in the room. But it also depends on what they're looking for too. So yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms. So that's just
you know what's crazy though, and I'm gonna put this out there, so I hope you don't mind. But at that social networking event, you were talking about, I guess one of the parts of the pageant is going to be you've got to get up and talk, right? You've got to present. Yes. And I think you were a little like, this isn't what I do. I'm a little nervous. I have to tell you right now, sis, you are eloquent today. Okay.
Thank you.
You have
thank you
for handling questions and conversations with. So I know at that social networking event, you kept saying, I don't know, this isn't my thing. It is your thing. So let's be clear. But how have you been preparing for that? Like, how have you been preparing for this next step of the competition?
So that's what my husband was worried about. But he brought up, like, when I did the Ashley Stewart in February and we had to walk through the crowd and they weren't even as far away as everybody was be. Because I thought I had a stage fright. But I think with me it's more just the fear of the unknown. Just the fact that you're going into a room and you know that everybody is just waiting for whatever, and it's just like, but now that I have classes coming up with a couple of models from different competitions already, and they just make sure that you're able to walk properly without tripping over nothing because of nervousness, and being able to talk, which I've been working on that with just doing lives every now and again and being open to whatever anybody throws at me without taking it personal. And so I think that'll help me. And I'm going to be doing that literally the next 2 weeks because we leave on the 18th. So I'm like, I work from home, so I can, I don't talk to nobody at work. I just do emails all day. So I can still, do things on the side. So I'm like, because I got to be ready. I'm like, I don't want to stutter over nothing. Because if I look like I'm not confident or sound like I'm not confident, why would they believe in me if I'm not believing in myself? So yeah, I just like, but you don't want to come off too cocky either. That's why I'm like, where's the thin line of being confident that I'm coming for this versus like, oh, I know this is mine. Like, it's like a thin line between confidence and cockiness to me.
Let me help you with that real quick. Don't look at the terminology.
Okay.
Energy express. There, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Bring that energy forth and channel it where you need
to. Okay.
Stop thinking, I don't want to be cocky. When you need that energy displayed. Yes. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't want to ever just be like she's a little bit too, I don't know. No, but
you talked about it. You talked about walking in the room, right? As a woman, and you don't have to be half naked in order to get attention, right? Because there's an energy that you're giving off. And that's really what John is saying is that that confidence, and at times it will need to be like an overt confidence, like big confidence. And that's okay. You will still channel that energy in a positive and upbeat way. And so that's the piece of it. Don't live in your head. Don't overthink it. Don't live in your head. Walk in the room.
That's funny because somebody.
Hey Mary, we just lost you. Mary, we just lost your sound. Mary, we just lost your sound. Gosh. Wait, hold on. Mary, we lost your sound. There we go. We lost your sound for a second.
Yeah, because it messed up both things because somebody was trying to call me from social media.
Go back and see what you were saying. Yeah.
So what I was saying is the group that I have on Facebook is called Ladies on a Mission. So we have maybe 200 members and they just post inspiring things every day. So somebody posted something of a woman and like in her brain, like hands was opening it. And they was like, what do y'all get from this? And everybody put their different opinions. And I was like, to me, I said, we need to start getting out of our own heads. Like, because sometimes we are our own biggest problem. So sometimes if we just face it as it is what it is, you know, so that's just funny that you just said what you said, because that was just something that's like confirmation from what I seen just earlier today. So
and that's all it is. I mean, at this point, we are so excited about you at this point going in and representing for women over 40, representing for thick girls, representing for ladies that are on a mission, and just all of the things that we need to be able to just to walk in this world every day. You know what I mean? Just to be able to walk in this world with our heads up every day. So we are super excited for you. Super.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I thank all of y'all for all y'all support. Like I said, our last encounter, that was the same day of my my stepdaughter gender reveal. Well, my daughter's gender reveal. And then I came over and I was just like, it was already a long day. But I'm like, I gotta come. You know, I was invited. And then to hear you both you ladies speak, and Mr. Carr is always so full of energy. I was like, I'm so glad I came. And then like I said, the first person to give me money that day was the young man. Like, even if his mom told him to, it was just like so touching, because I'm like, I got a softness for little boys because that's all I have. So I'm like a sucker for the kids. But yeah, like even last weekend when I had my little home celebration, my son had 6 kids here. Like, it was like anything that's supposed to be about me, it's like he want the kids here, they was here too. Like, I don't care. Like, it's never always about me. It's always for them and their safety, and to feel like they always gonna be a part of everything all the time, because they are. Like, my life wouldn't be the way it is if it wasn't for my sons. That's so important, because we oftentimes have events where it's just focused on us.
And the social aspect of that, the benefits that come from that. But then on the flip side, we realize you children need to do something. We need to incorporate them in what we do.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because they are watching. Let's lead them by example. So trust me, keep doing what you're doing.
All right, Mary. So give us your contact information. Like, how can people follow Thick Girls Is Fly, Ladies on a Mission? How do we track what's going on with Miss Fashion Global Pageant? Like, how do we know what's going on?
So on Instagram, I am at Thick Girls Is Fly. On Facebook, I am at Thick Girls Is Fly. My email is thickgirlsisfly@gmail.com. And for Ladies on a Mission, it was made as a private group, but I'm actually just about to open it up because I don't know why I did it private to begin with. But when I looked at the editing on it earlier today, I seen that it was private. I said I need to open it up because more people need this than we realize. Because at first it was like a young lady contacted me from Thick Girls Is Fly and was like, you're very inspirational in other things. You should have something that people that's not your friends on social media can get to. And that's when I made it. But then I'm like I said, I kind of forgot about it with everything else going on. And I'm like, I need to open it up because more people need it than we realize. Like, and I always be like, I feel like when somebody say I inspire them, I'm like, but I'm just married. Like, I'm just myself. But to be able to, for another adult to say that I inspire them, another grown woman to be like, I'm like, that's pretty decent. Like, but I'm inspired by other people, and it's not all women, you know. So just, your regular person can, because your strength inspire me. Like, I see what you go through, or I see, and I know the obstacles, and you're still going through. Like, that's inspiring. Like, so it puts fire under you not to give up.
Let's slow down what you're saying, so you're going through it.
Yes.
You didn't say I'm trying or I'm defeated.
Yes.
Going through it.
Definitely going through it.
You know what I'm saying? So
going through it, and right now getting through it.
Well, listen, let me thank Jordana, because I want to thank you for kicking that off as a keynote speaker. You started that. And as a host, I can't think of everything all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to say that it shows that it resonates in the team. Yeah. Jordana started that, and I myself been wanting to send that $5, but I went home that night. No. So it's just like Joe to me.
That little boy brought up that money, and we were all like, "Okay, we need to show love. Like, let's follow
like
suit.
it was like everybody follow suit.
Yes, let's follow suit.
Yes,
so.
And I like count up all the money, and I put everything in the bank, and then I cash app it, and all. Like I said, every 4 quarters, all the nickels. With my sister, we did like a little bar crawl on Wednesday, and we went to 3 places. We got over $300.
That's
yes.
Yeah.
Because what we had to realize too, everybody's not on social media.
Right.
And if they're not on social media and they're not knowledgeable, then they weren't able to support. So that idea was my sister. She was like, we could just go out and you'll have your sash on. And if people wanted to support, they could. She literally had the little box, like I'm talking about change, everything. Yeah, $300. I was like,
I love it. Hey, Mary, are we going to be able to watch the Miss Fashion Global Pageant? Is it something that they'll stream online or?
So Terrence is going to give me that information as of right now, and I'm not sure, but my little son is coming with me, and we are going live.
Okay.
So even if they don't do it directly, my husband and my son is going, and my 12-year-old will definitely, he's going to go live. Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm going to make sure, because I feel like everybody deserves to be able to see it, even if they can't go. Like
But we're going to be watching and clapping. We're going to
get me there.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, we just had somebody come in my dog is not favorable. Calm down.
And so that's November 18th.
So so November 18th to the 22nd.
Okay.
We go down, because I was talking over the dog. I wasn't loud the whole time. So November 18th to the 22nd, we'll be down in Destin, Florida, which I never even heard of.
Okay.
It's beautiful. We're at a beachfront hotel. But when we get there on the 18th, we have an orientation. We have the following day we have preliminaries of some sort. Then we
I didn't look at your whole schedule. The schedule is online. I didn't already teach it. I'm ready. I saw the breakdown. I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready. I'm gonna be walking around my bedroom acting like I'm with you. Okay. We are there. I came for it all. Okay. I came for it all. Yes, celebrate. That's part, like you said it earlier. We can't do anything in this world by ourselves.
No.
And so we want to make sure that we pour into you, that we celebrate you, that we encourage you. And so we are super excited.
Thank you. I get chills every time. Thank you. Thank you guys. You guys have been such a big support and big help. I'm so glad that I was able to connect with y'all through Sarah and get with Mr. Carr and become a sponsor and everything, because it just networking to me, like, everybody like no new friends, but you can't grow if you don't open up, a network.
Yep.
Are y'all okay? But yeah, I'm just glad that we got the network and link up, and I met Annette Fletcher, and now she's not far from me down here in Delaware, so I'm supposed to meet up with her. So yeah, I'm
when you
excited
come
for
back,
this mission. And like I said, I go to Florida. I'm sorry, but
when you come back, Mary, I don't know, we're breaking up a little bit here, but when you come back, we definitely, because we have met on one of our previous shows, and so we would love to get a little sister circle together and just talk about some things that we can continue to do with young girls.
Absolutely.
And you are empowering people by doing this, and so we want to wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
So we're super excited.
We'll be following
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank y'all for your time. I will definitely be keeping y'all posted on everything.
Yes, please. All right.
See, I want to say
on our YouTube channel and on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
thanks, Mary.
All right.
Thank y'all for having me. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.